Let's talk about something that has a lot of people raising eyebrows, clutching pearls, lighting sage, and texting group chats with the speed of Mercury retrograde on Red Bull. Recently, Elon Musk's father made a statement saying that if America becomes predominantly minority instead of white, the country will go down. Now, whether he meant it as fear, as warning, or as some sort of cultural prophecy gone wrong, a lot of folks heard it and immediately felt the sting of something deeper: racism, anxiety, and a very old belief system that refuses to die. And let's be honest, when comments like that surface, they don't just enter the news, they enter our spirit, they enter our memory, they enter our community conversations, and they force us to ask, is America really only stable when one group sits at the top, or is the system unstable because it was built that way? I'm Mystique, your cosmic architect. And on this channel, we talk about magic, we talk about cosmic laws, we talk about angels, and we talk about tarot. But we also talk about the world we're living in, the energy we're swimming through, and the systems that shape how we feel in the grocery store, at a red light, at a job interview, or walking into a neighborhood we've never been in before. And let's be very clear up front. What we're not going to do today is respond to that statement with fear. We're not going to respond with outrage that drains our spirit. We're not going to respond with hopelessness or the illusion that our future depends on someone else's comfort level. We're going to respond with strategy, with history, with truth, and with spiritual authority. Because underneath that statement is an assumption, an old dusty belief that America's success is tied to whiteness, and that if whiteness stops being the majority, everything falls apart. But you and I, we know better. We have proof. We have lived experience. We have historical receipts. And we have ancestral whisperings that remind us when the playing field levels, Black people rise with a power that history could not erase, even when it tried. And today, I want to walk you through why that is true. But more importantly, I want to walk you through how we can spiritually, mentally, and energetically shift the culture of this entire nation with something as powerful as guided meditation, ancestral awareness, and cosmic law alignment. Because the solution isn't yelling back, the solution isn't more division. The solution is transformation from the inside out, individually and collectively. So settle in, Mystic. We're about to step into a conversation that blends America's past, America's present, and the energetic future we have the power to shape together. And trust me, by the end of this, you're going to look at that statement with a whole new level of clarity, confidence, and cosmic understanding.
Where magic meets mindset, where the moon lights the way, manifesting with mystic, every law's in play. Heads align it, believe it, receive it. With mystic you'll achieve it. Manifesting with mystic, your cosmic path is clear.
Let's talk about something that's stirring up a whole lot of energy in America right now. Recently, Elon Musk's father made a statement saying that if America becomes predominantly minority instead of white, the country will go down. Now, whether he meant it as a warning, a fear, or just an old belief popping out his mouth without thinking, a lot of people heard that and immediately felt what was underneath it: racial anxiety, cultural fear, and a very outdated idea about who makes a nation strong. And let's be honest, comments like that don't just stay in the news cycle, they get into people's spirits. They get into communities. They make folks question themselves, their safety, their future, or even their place in this country. But here's what I want to do today. Instead of reacting with fear, anger, or exhaustion, I want us to respond with clarity, with truth, with strategy, and with spiritual authority. Because underneath that statement is a belief that has shaped America from the very beginning. The idea that this country can only succeed if one group remains the majority. But you and I know better than that. And let me tell you how I know. When I visited Georgia, I saw miles and miles of Black wealth, Black families thriving, Black communities well maintained, Black children laughing in neighborhoods that felt safe, clean, and supported. My whole spirit felt different. My ancestors felt at ease. I felt, for the first time, what it means to be surrounded by Black abundance on a daily basis. And then I came back home to New Jersey and the energy shifted. Not because Jersey is bad, but because depending on where you go, you can feel the difference in investment, in resources, in structure, and in how certain communities are treated. Like the Wawa up the street, no free air for tires, but drive 10 minutes into a white area, free air, cleaner roads, different atmosphere, different expectations. It makes you ask one very real question. Why does the same country feel like two completely different worlds depending on where you stand? And that's exactly why we're here today. I'm Mystique, your cosmic architect, and on this channel we talk about magic, we talk about cosmic laws, we talk about angels, and we talk about tarot. But we also talk about real life. We talk about the world we're navigating every single day. And in this sacred space, we operate from four truths. Every person deserves perfect health. Every person deserves abundant wealth. Every person deserves perfect self-expression. And every relationship, including the relationship you have with your own country, should be a fair exchange of energy. So today we're going to take that statement, that fear-based idea about America collapsing if it becomes more diverse, and we're going to spiritually and energetically dismantle it. We're going to ask a much more powerful question. What would America become if the playing field finally leveled out? Not as a slogan, not as a dream, but for real. In education, in opportunity, in safety, in investment, in everyday life. Because what I've seen with my own eyes, and what history proves over and over again, is that when Black people have access, we rise. When marginalized communities have resources, they flourish. When diversity is supported, the entire nation benefits. So today's intention is simple. We're here to begin a spiritual, ancestral, and angelic recalibration of America's consciousness. Not by ignoring what's wrong, but by revealing what's possible, by grounding ourselves in truth, and by envisioning a future that honors every one of us. So settle in, mystics and mages, and this is where the real work begins. Before we dive any deeper, let me lighten the mood for a second because, baby, this conversation is heavy, and when the energy starts getting dense, you already know humor is spiritual ventilation. So listen, if America was a zodiac chart, she would absolutely be a Gemini sun, Virgo moon, Scorpio rising, confused half the time, judgmental the other half, and always ready to fight on the front lawn with her bonnet on. And honestly, that explains everything. It explains why the country can't stick to one personality. It explains why the vibes shift faster than TikTok trends. And it explains why half the population is sitting here like, Lord, what timeline are we even on anymore? Now, see, I'm laughing, but I'm also telling the truth. Because when you look at America spiritually, she really is like that cousin who keeps saying, I'm changed now, and then shows up to Thanksgiving with a brand new crisis and the same old behavior. But the good news is we're the healers in the family. We're the mystics. We're the ones who came here with cosmic contracts and ancestral assignments. And sometimes the only way to start a deep healing is to loosen the grip, breathe, and remember that even the most chaotic people in the most chaotic countries can evolve with the right guidance. So let's get back into it, because now that the vibration is lifted and our energy is open, we're ready to explore exactly why this country feels like two different worlds and what happens when the playing field finally levels out. All right, let's break this down, because to understand why people are reacting the way they're reacting, we have to look at the truth of how America actually functions. And here's the first truth. America is not one experience. America is multiple realities depending on where you're standing. You can drive 10 minutes in one direction and see neglected roads, struggling schools, underfunded neighborhoods, food deserts, over-policing, and communities surviving off pure resilience. Then drive 10 minutes in the opposite direction, and suddenly there are clean parks, fresh pavement, newly built shopping centers, quiet streets, healthier grocery options, and that everything's handled energy. Same country, same state, same county, two completely different worlds. And that's because America wasn't designed with equal investment across the board. Different communities receive different foundations, different opportunities, different levels of protection, different access to wealth. And that brings me to something I've seen with my own eyes. When I was in Georgia, I felt something in my spirit that I had never felt before. I felt what it's like to breathe inside a thriving Black ecosystem. Miles and miles of Black families with wealth, Black households with stability, Black businesses everywhere you look, Black culture integrated into everyday life, not hidden, not tolerated, but celebrated. My whole nervous system relaxed. My ancestors said, finally, we can breathe. But back home in New Jersey, it's different. You can exist in a predominantly Black area, but you can feel the underinvestment and you can feel the fragmentation. You can feel how some things are supported while others are ignored. Like that simple example I shared earlier, the Wawa with no free air, while the one in the white area offers it with no hesitation. Small things, but big signals. And here's the deeper point. Those differences are not cultural. They are structural. That's why certain communities struggle across races. That's why certain towns fall apart regardless of who lives there. And that's why certain neighborhoods flourish no matter who moves in. Because poverty isn't a personality trait. It's not an identity. It's a blueprint, one created by policy, investment, and access. And here's the part that people don't want to say out loud. Whenever Black people gain equal access, even a little bit, we rise fast. You can see it throughout history. When Black veterans finally got access to the GI Bill, Black home ownership spiked. When universities opened their doors, Black scholars multiplied. When the Civil Rights Act passed, Black mayors, judges, lawyers, and entrepreneurs emerged in every major city. And right now, in the digital age, Black business ownership and creativity are exploding faster than ever before, even while the playing field is still uneven. So when someone says America will fall apart if minorities become the majority, what they're really saying, whether consciously or not, is, I'm afraid of a world where everyone has equal access, because I know some of us have been benefiting from an uneven foundation. But the truth is this: America has never seen what she could become when every community is fueled equally. We've only seen fragments, pockets, moments, bursts of brilliance, snapshots of what happens when oppressed people touch opportunity, and those little snapshots have been powerful enough to shake entire systems. Which brings us to one of the clearest, strongest, and most undeniable examples of what Black excellence looks like when the playing field approaches anything close to equal access. A moment in history that proved, with receipts, that Black prosperity is not only possible, it is inevitable when allowed to grow. Let's talk about Black Wall Street. Listen, poverty in America is not a personality trait. It's not a moral failure. It's a structure, a design, a system with rules, budgets, policies, and history baked right into it. And when you understand that, everything suddenly makes sense. Because here's the truth, most people don't want to say out loud. You can take two neighborhoods, put them in the same country, under the same flag, with the same national anthem, and they will have two completely different destinies. Based on one thing, how much money gets invested into the soil beneath their feet. See, poverty is not born in people. Poverty is born in policy. Poverty is created through decisions like where highways go, where grocery stores do not go, which schools get updated textbooks and which ones don't, which neighborhoods get banks, and which ones only get check cashing places and liquor stores. Poverty is engineered through zoning, redlining, lending discrimination, educational disinvestment, predatory policing, underfunded public services, environmental hazards, and the strategic starving of opportunity. When a community is denied those things over and over again, poverty becomes a pattern, not because the people are broken, but because the infrastructure is broken on purpose. And let's be very clear, if you move those same people, with the same brilliance, the same gifts, the same drive, into an environment with resources, safety, and investment. They thrive instantly. I saw it with my own eyes in Georgia. Miles and miles of Black people in wealth, in power, in business, in ownership. And it felt normal, healthy, safe. Like, oh, this is what it looks like when we actually have access. But where I live in New Jersey, I've never seen a Black populated area that feels like that, not once. And that's not because the people are different. It's because the soil is different. Some people grow in gardens, some people grow in concrete. And then society judges the one growing in concrete for not blooming fast enough. But let me tell you something. Nothing is wrong with the seed. It's the soil that's been poisoned. And if you want a perfect example of how this works, look at the movie Trading Places. Remember how two rich white brothers literally manufactured poverty and wealth as an experiment? They destroyed one man's entire life. Not because he did anything wrong, not because he lacked talent, not because he didn't have value, but because they wanted to prove a point. They dropped him into poverty overnight by controlling opportunity, by removing access, by shutting every door around him. And then they took Eddie Murphy's character, a Black man with brilliance, hustle, instinct, and street intelligence, and instantly elevated him the moment they placed him inside a structure designed for wealth. His intelligence didn't change, his identity didn't change, his potential didn't change. Only the structure changed. And that's the entire point I'm making. Poverty is not a character flaw. Poverty is a constructed environment. Give any community the right soil, access, investment, safety, education, opportunity, and they bloom. Take any community and drain their resources, remove their safety, starve their schools, and block their access, and they struggle. Trading Places wasn't comedy, it was prophecy. It was a mirror. It was a demonstration of how America moves people up and down by controlling access. And that's why we're having this conversation today. That's why this meditation matters, because we're not just talking about race, we're talking about access, structure, design, the backbone of opportunity in America. And when the structure changes, the outcome changes for everybody. Now, if we're going to have a real conversation about what happens when Black people are given access, opportunity, and the space to breathe, we have to talk about Black Wall Street. Because Black Wall Street wasn't a myth. It wasn't exaggerated. It wasn't just a neighborhood. It was one of the most powerful, prosperous, self-sufficient Black communities ever built on American soil. Let me paint this picture for you. We're talking about a place with Black-owned banks, hotels, restaurants, law firms, schools, grocery stores, airfields, yes, Black pilots, hospitals and movie theaters, and luxury businesses. The dollar circulated 36 to 100 times before it left the community. People dressed well, people lived well, people supported each other. And there was a deep-rooted pride, an ancestral knowing that said, we can build our own abundance. We don't need permission to thrive. Black Wall Street was living proof that the belief America only works if one race dominates was a lie. And that's exactly why it was attacked. See, people like to pretend the massacre happened because of a rumor, but that's not accurate at all. A rumor was the excuse, not the reason. The real reason was this. Black Wall Street proved that when Black communities are allowed to flourish, they don't just survive, they outperform the system. And that terrified the people who believed power should never be shared. So what happened? White mobs stormed Greenwood. 35 square blocks burned. Homes, businesses, dreams, and futures turned to ash. Airplanes dropped explosives from the sky. Black families were killed or forced to flee. Insurance companies denied all claims. The city rezoned the land to prevent rebuilding. And decades later, a highway was deliberately placed right through the heart of the neighborhood to choke out whatever life still remained. This was not random. This was not accidental. This was not chaos. This was targeted economic sabotage, not because Black people were failing, but because Black people were succeeding. And here's the part that gets even deeper. While Black Wall Street was being destroyed, white economic leaders were studying it, studying how Black communities built strong business loops, studying how the dollar circulated in a healthy ecosystem, studying how cooperative economics created stability, studying how community investment strengthened every part of the neighborhood. In other words, white America didn't just attack Black Wall Street, it learned from it. many of the economic strategies that white business districts use today. Community banking, local business alliances, marketplace clustering, reinvestment loops were perfected in Black Wall Street long before other districts adopted those models. And so, let's be honest. Black Wall Street wasn't just a success story, it was a blueprint, a warning, and a prophecy. A prophecy that says, if the playing field ever levels for real, Black people will rise so fast that the country will have to rewrite everything it thinks it knows about power, wealth, and leadership. Black decline was engineered. Black brilliance is the natural state. And this is the very thing that demographic fear tries to erase. Not because Black people are incapable, but because our capability has already been proven so strongly that it had to be burned to the ground to stop it. But here's the twist the ancestors want you to remember. Even after the destruction, Black families rebuilt it twice. This is why statements like the one Elon Musk's father made ring hollow. Because history already showed us what happens when access and investment align. Black prosperity appears, Black stability appears, Black innovation appears, Black leadership appears, Black unity appears, and an entire nation benefits whether it wants to accept it or not. So now that we've looked at what Black Wall Street proved, let's talk about what all of this means for America today and what would truly happen if the playing field finally leveled. Now that we've talked about Black Wall Street and what happens when Black communities actually get access, let's flip this lens for a moment, because this is where the truth becomes undeniable. Poverty has never been about race. Poverty has always been about resources, structure, and investment. And the proof is right here in America. Because if poverty was a Black problem, then explain to me why there are entire white towns, whole regions, living in conditions that mirror the same patterns. Low investment, low opportunity, low access, and high struggle. Look at certain rural areas. Look at parts of Appalachia. Look at the towns with peeling paint, deserted main streets, and collapsing factories. Look at the trailer parks tucked deep in the woods where Confederate flags fly. But the people inside are living paycheck to paycheck with no health care, no fresh food, no jobs, and no pathways out. Explain to me how the same patterns show up there without a single Black person being involved. See, when you actually pay attention, you start to notice something. The struggle looks the same wherever the investment is absent. Whether the people are Black, white, Hispanic, Indigenous, Asian, it doesn't matter. If a town doesn't have resources, the people in it suffer. You can drive through a neglected white town and see the same energy you'd see in a neglected Black neighborhood: underfunded schools, shuttered businesses, boarded windows, addiction issues, hopelessness, and a sense that the world forgot them. Different race, same pattern. Why? Because poverty follows policy, poverty follows investment, poverty follows access, poverty follows who gets funded, not who gets born. And here's the part most people avoid saying out loud. If America's success truly depended on whiteness, then all white majority towns would be thriving. And that's simply not reality. Thriving communities thrive because they're supported. Struggling communities struggle because the structure around them is broken. This is why that statement, the one about America going down if it becomes more diverse, doesn't hold up spiritually, historically, or logically. Because if whiteness alone guaranteed stability, you wouldn't see white areas collapsing from lack of investment. And if Blackness caused collapse, you wouldn't see Black communities rising the moment opportunity becomes available. This isn't about color. This is about conditions, and conditions can change. That's why today matters. Because we're not just talking about race, we're talking about the blueprint that builds or breaks a nation. And the blueprint can be rewritten. So now that we've established that poverty is structural, not racial, it's time to answer the question that brought us here. What would actually happen if the playing field finally leveled out? For real, no illusions, no excuses, just equal access, equal investment, and equal opportunity across this entire country. Let's talk about it. So let's go there. Let's answer the question most people are too scared to ask out loud. What would actually happen if the playing field in America leveled out? If every community, Black, white, brown, immigrant, indigenous, had the same access, the same investment, the same protection, the same opportunity? Here's the truth. And it's not even a mystery. Black people would rise quickly, powerfully, collectively, and not just Black people, but every group that has been held back by systems that were never designed with them in mind. Because when you remove the barriers, when you stop starving communities of resources, when you let people breathe, thrive, like express themselves, and build, the natural result is growth. Let's talk about Black communities first. When the playing field levels, Black creativity takes off. Black entrepreneurship explodes, Black home ownership increases, Black neighborhoods stabilize, and Black childhoods become safer, gentler, and more supported. Black mental health improves. Black families build generational wealth instead of generational survival. The rise would be so fast and so visible that you'd be able to see it within a single generation. That's not fantasy, that's what we've already seen every time the door cracked open even a little. But that's not all. When the playing field levels for everyone, white communities benefit too, immigrant communities benefit, indigenous communities benefit, Latino and Asian communities benefit, mixed communities benefit because equality doesn't take from anyone. It elevates the entire nation. Think about it spiritually. When you lift one frequency, the entire grid shifts. When you heal one part of the body, the whole body functions better. When you remove scarcity from one community, the vibration of the entire country rises. This is cosmic law. This is energetic architecture. This is how collective consciousness works. The only people who fear equal opportunity are the ones who believe their power depends on someone else's limitation. But true power, real power, comes from alignment, not domination. And here's the part that gives me chills every time I say it. America has never seen the version of herself that exists when every community is allowed to fully rise. We've only seen the prototype, the samples, the previews, the coming soon attractions hidden in history books and censored documentaries and whispered ancestral memory. Imagine an America where every child has equal access to education, where every neighborhood has clean water, safe roads, and funded schools, where every business district has opportunity, where every family has access to healthcare, stability, and safety, where every culture is valued, where brilliance isn't blocked, it's amplified. That's not a fantasy. That's what the playing field looks like when it's level. And that version of America, that future, that timeline, it is not the downfall of the nation. It is the evolution of the nation. And that's the part demographic fear doesn't want people to understand. When America becomes more diverse, it doesn't fall apart. It becomes more powerful, more innovative, more culturally rich, more spiritually aligned, more reflective of the divine tapestry it was always meant to be. So now that we've opened that doorway, let's talk about why there's so much fear around this shift. Because beneath the politics, beneath the numbers, beneath the debates, there is a spiritual identity crisis happening in this country, and we're about to break that down. Now let's bring all of this together because we're not just dealing with history, we're not just dealing with economics, we're not just dealing with demographics. What America is really going through right now is a spiritual identity crisis, a crisis of who she thinks she is versus who she actually has the potential to become. See, the fear around demographic change, the fear inside statements like the one Elon Musk's father made, doesn't come from logic. It doesn't come from data. It doesn't even come from real experience. It comes from an old energetic program that was embedded into this country from the moment it was born. The belief that dominance equals safety, that hierarchy equals order, and that one group must always sit on top for everything to stay stable. But energetically, spiritually, cosmically, that model is collapsing. It has been collapsing. And that collapse is what people are reacting to, not the demographics themselves. Because when a system is built on imbalance, it starts to panic when balance tries to return. And that's what you're seeing right now. People mistaking the rise of others for the decline of themselves. People mistaking equality for loss. People mistaking diversity for danger. People mistaking social evolution for personal extinction. That's not politics. That's not economics. That's the human ego in survival mode, grabbing onto identity structures that no longer work. And here's the deeper truth. America never actually defined itself spiritually. It defined itself economically. It defined itself militarily. It defined itself politically. But spiritually, energetically, cosmically, America never decided what kind of soul it wanted to have. So right now, as the demographics shift, as visibility expands, as communities rise, as Black, Brown, Indigenous, immigrant, and mixed voices become louder. America is being forced to choose. Will she cling to an identity based on hierarchy and fear? Or will she evolve into a nation rooted in equity, expansion, and collective abundance? This is why the energy feels so chaotic. This is why everything feels up in the air. This is why so many people are tense, defensive, or reactive. They're not actually afraid of other people. They're afraid of losing an identity that was built on being above instead of being aligned. But here's the higher truth, the cosmic truth. When a nation is in an identity crisis, that is the universe calling the nation to evolve, to shed old beliefs, to dismantle outdated structures, to release fear-based programming, to step into a new spiritual blueprint. America is not dying. America is transforming. America is adjusting to a frequency she has never held before, a frequency where everybody rises when the field is level. And whether people realize it or not, this shift is divine, it is ancestral, it is karmic, it is cosmic, and it is inevitable. The old identity cannot survive in the new vibration, and that's why today, in this video, we're going to do something powerful. We're going to guide America energetically into a new identity. Not a perfect identity, but a healed one. Not an identity based on majority versus minority, but an identity based on collective alignment. Because if this country truly wants to thrive, it has to stop clinging to fear and start embracing balance. So take a deep breath, Mystic, because we are about to shift from understanding the problem into recalibrating the future. Let's begin the meditation. Okay, mystics and mages, now that we've laid the foundation, let's shift into the heart of this work. And I want you to get comfortable, whether you're sitting, lying down, or just leaning into a moment of stillness. Let your shoulders relax, let your jaw unclench, let your breath slow all the way down. Because what we're about to do is not just a meditation for you, it's a meditation for the collective, for the land, for the ancestors, for the spirit of this country, and for every soul trying to find their place in it. So let's breathe together. Take a slow, deep inhale. Fill your lungs until you feel your ribs expand, and exhale gently, letting the weight of the world fall off your shoulders. Again, inhale deeply and exhale softly. Inhale and release. With each breath, I want you to imagine your energy settling, your thoughts clearing, your heart softening, and your spirit opening. Because right now, in this moment, you are stepping into the role of a healer, a recalibrator, a co-creator of the future we want to see. Now place your attention at the center of your chest. Right at your heart space, feel the warm light gathering there, a soft golden glow pulsing with every breath. This is your alignment, your clarity, your divine center. And from this center, we are going to expand outward into something bigger than ourselves. But before we do that, I want to call in support. Archangel Uriel, angel of wisdom, angel of light, angel of truth, angel of divine clarity. We invite you into this space, surround us, guide us, illuminate what is hidden, soften what is fearful, and expand what is possible. And align this meditation with the highest good for all. Take another slow breath in and gently release. Now that your energy is centered, your breath is calm, and your spirit is receptive, we're ready to begin the deeper layers of this healing. Let's move into the ancestral release. Now that your breath is steady and your spirit is open, we're going to step into the part of this meditation that reaches far beyond you. Because the truth is, America is not just made of policies and borders, it is made of memory. It is made of ancestors. It is made of stories, both healed and unhealed, both spoken and silenced, both honored and ignored. And if we want to shift the energy of this country, we have to begin with the energy within us and the energy behind us. So keep breathing gently and listen to my voice. I want you to imagine a long golden thread connecting you to your lineage, every parent, every grandparent, every great-grandparent, every ancestor whose footsteps echo behind you. Some of their stories were filled with joy. Some were filled with struggle. Some were filled with silence. Some were filled with survival. Some were filled with brilliance that the world never saw. And many of them carried beliefs, fears, and wounds that weren't theirs to carry. But they held them anyway because they were trying to stay alive. in a world that didn't always make space for them. Now take a slow inhale, and on the exhale, I want you to whisper to yourself, even if it's just in your mind, what my ancestors carried to survive, I now release to rise. Feel that, because some of the tension we feel in America today isn't just ours, it's inherited, it's absorbed, it's passed down like spiritual muscle memory. Fear of not being safe, fear of being unseen, fear of being pushed aside, fear of being judged, fear of walking into the wrong neighborhood, fear of opportunity being snatched away. Then on the other side, fear of losing privilege, fear of losing dominance, fear of losing identity, fear of losing power that was never meant to be hoarded. These fears, on all sides, are old, outdated, and too heavy for the next version of America we are trying to create. So right here, right now, we release them. Take another inhale and exhale. Now imagine that golden thread glowing brighter and brighter as every ancestor who stands behind you gently lets go of one piece of fear, one piece of pain, one piece of generational burden that no longer belongs in your body or in this country's future. Some ancestors release fear, some release grief, some release anger, some release silence, some release shame, some release guilt, some release survival patterns that they had to cling to because the world they lived in offered them no safety. And as they let go, you feel lighter, calmer, more open, more ready, because now you are carrying their wisdom without carrying their wounds. Take another breath in and release. And now imagine those ancestors standing behind you, not weighed down but uplifted, not afraid but peaceful, not limited but free. They are not holding you back. They are supporting you forward now that the lineage is clear, now that the fear has loosened its grip, and now that the old energy has released. You are ready for the next step. You are ready to imagine America as it could be, not as it has been. Let's move into the visualization. Now that your breath is steady and your ancestors are standing behind you in peace instead of pain, I want you to step with me into a different version of America, a higher version, a healed version, a balanced version. Keep breathing gently and let your imagination open. I want you to picture yourself standing on a quiet street, not any specific town, not any specific state, like just America in her ideal form. The sun is warm on your skin, the air feels clean and light, and the whole atmosphere feels calm, supported, balanced. Look down the street, you see well-funded schools with playgrounds that are safe, books that are new, teachers who are supported, and children of every background, learning side by side, without fear, without lack, without barriers placed on their futures. Now look to the left, you see a grocery store, not a food desert, not limited options, and not overpriced basics. A fully stocked store with healthy, fresh food, accessible to everyone, because every neighborhood in this version of America is seen as worthy of nourishment. Look to the right, you see homes, not crumbling, not neglected, not priced to push people out. Real homes with real stability where families aren't wondering if they'll be displaced next year. Because equity and fairness are built into the foundation of the community. Now look behind you. You see a healthcare center, not overwhelmed, not understaffed, not inaccessible, a place where people receive the care they need without fear of bills, denial, or discrimination. Now look ahead. You see businesses, Black-owned, white-owned, immigrant-owned, indigenous-owned, Latino and Asian-owned, standing side by side, supported equally, funded equally, respected equally. There is no wrong side of town. There is no good neighborhood versus bad neighborhood. There is no scarcity attached to a zip code. There is no silent anxiety when someone says they're from a certain area. Instead, every part of this city is held to the same standard because investment is equal and opportunity is universal. Take a slow inhale and exhale. Now walk with me down this street. Feel how peaceful your spirit becomes when equity is normal instead of a fight. Feel how relaxed your nervous system is when every community is resourced and nothing is intentionally starved. Feel how natural it feels to see diversity without tension, without fear, without the need to compare, compete, or dominate. In this America where schools are funded, communities are safe, businesses are thriving, and people are treated with dignity, there is no majority versus minority. There is only humanity. There is only balance. There is only shared prosperity. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, let yourself absorb the truth. This America is not impossible. It's simply unfamiliar. We've never seen what this country looks like, with a level playing field, but that doesn't mean it can't exist. Now that you've seen what equal access feels like, it's time to go even deeper. It's time to visualize what happens when Black communities, with their brilliance, resilience, creativity, and ancestral power, are allowed to rise fully without restriction. Let's step into that vision next. Now that you've seen what America looks like when every community is supported, I want you to shift the focus to Black America, to your people, your lineage, your ancestors, your future, your children, your inner child, your inner healer. Keep breathing gently and picture this with me. You're now standing in the center of a thriving Black community. Not imagined, not symbolic, but real, vibrant, fully resourced, fully respected, fully supported. The first thing you notice is the atmosphere. There's no tension, no hypervigilance, no looking over your shoulder, no coded rules for survival. The air feels soft, safe, warm, expansive. You hear children laughing freely without the weight of generational fear in their bodies. You see families walking together, whole, stable, proud. Black elders sitting on porches, smiling, relaxed, watching their community flourish in a way they prayed for, but didn't always get to see. Now look around you. You see Black-owned businesses lining every corner. Restaurants, boutiques, bookstores, tech hubs, markets, health centers, banks, art studios, creative spaces, music schools. Not struggling businesses, but thriving ones. Beautiful signage, long lines of customers, professional staff, abundant energy, money circulating over and over again within the community, the same way it did in Black Wall Street. Now take a slow breath in and see Black children in classrooms with brand new books, teachers who believe in them, curriculum that reflects them not just in struggle, but in brilliance, innovation, leadership, and power. They are learning their history without distortion, their culture without shame, their identity without limitation. Now look at the homes, not crowded, not falling apart, not overpriced, not unstable, but well-kept, beautiful, spacious homes. With gardens, with porches, with sunlight streaming through clean windows, with generational wealth being planted, brick by brick. Take another deep breath and see Black mothers, not carrying the weight of the world, but carrying joy, carrying freedom, carrying the ease their ancestors were denied. See Black fathers, not fighting the system every day, but thriving within one that finally treats them fairly. Present, proud, empowered, not from survival, but from fulfillment. See Black teens walking confidently, laughing with friends, unburdened by stereotypes, unbothered by fear of profiling, living in a community that reflects their potential instead of limiting it. Feel this vision in your body. Feel the safety, feel the abundance, feel the stability, feel the creativity, feel the power, feel the legacy. Now imagine Black elders, the ones who lived through segregation, through redlining, through violence, through silencing, standing on the sidewalk with tears in their eyes because they finally see what they always knew was possible. Black prosperity, Black safety, Black joy, Black ownership, Black innovation, Black rest. In this vision, you are witnessing a future where the brilliance of Black America is no longer interrupted, no longer sabotaged, no longer suppressed. This is a future where Black success is not an exception, but the expectation. Take another slow inhale and let this truth settle into your spirit. When Black communities rise, the entire nation rises with them. Now that you've seen this vision, now that you've felt it in your spirit, we're going to expand our view to the entire country, because the flourishing of one community is not a threat to another. It is a blessing to all. Let's move into the vision of national unity and collective elevation. Now that you've witnessed what Black flourishing looks like, now that you've felt the safety, the abundance, the joy, the stability, the generational impact, I want you to zoom out with me. Because when one community rises, that rise sends ripples through the entire collective consciousness. Keep breathing gently and imagine this: you're floating above the map of the United States. Not with fear, not with heaviness, but with clarity, with compassion, with divine perspective. Below you, you see cities, towns, suburbs, and rural areas, all glowing with different colors, each one representing a different culture, different history, different story. And you notice something beautiful. The glow is even, balanced, harmonized. There are no dark pockets of neglect, no dim neighborhoods starved of resources, no areas intentionally left behind. Instead, every part of the country is lit with the same vibrational brightness. Now take a slow inhale, and as you exhale, watch what happens next. The lights begin to move toward one another, not blending into sameness, but sinking into harmony. Black communities rising doesn't dim anyone else's glow. Latino communities rising doesn't dim anyone else's glow. Asian, white, indigenous, immigrant communities rising doesn't remove opportunity from another group. Instead, the lights strengthen each other. Because unity is not uniformity. Unity is alignment. Now imagine the entire country pulsing like a heartbeat, steady, rhythmic, strong. And with every pulse, you see cooperation and co-creation, innovation, and shared prosperity. You see neighborhoods partnering instead of competing, cultures exchanging wisdom instead of tension, communities uplifting each other instead of isolating themselves. You see children, black, white, brown, mixed, growing up together without inherited fear or inherited prejudice, and because the adults around them are no longer living in survival-based identities. You see families from different backgrounds sharing meals, building businesses, supporting each other's dreams, attending each other's celebrations. You see leaders chosen, not by manipulation or fear-based rhetoric, but by integrity, humility, wisdom, and compassion. You see conflicts resolved, not with violence, but with understanding and accountability. You see wealth flowing into every zip code, every community, every household, because the economy is no longer a ladder with one seat at the top. It's a circle with room for everyone. And take another breath in and feel the truth sinking in. A country that invests in all its people creates a future that belongs to all its people. Now feel your body again, your heart space, your breath, and imagine that same glowing map dropping into your chest, not as a burden, but as a blueprint. A blueprint for balance, a blueprint for equity, a blueprint for unity, a blueprint for the next version of America that we are co-creating right here in this meditation. Hold that vision inside your spirit. And now let's prepare to seal it. Take one more breath, and when you're ready, we move to the final integration and blessing. Take one more slow breath in and exhale gently. You've traveled through multiple layers of awareness. Your personal experience, your ancestral history, your community vision, and the higher blueprint of a unified nation. Now it's time to integrate, and I want you to place your hand over your heart, just lightly, and feel your heartbeat beneath your palm. That rhythm, that pulse is the reminder that you are alive in this moment with purpose. You are not just witnessing the shift happening in America. You are participating in it. Your consciousness contributes to the collective. Your healing influences the field. Your vision becomes a seed planted in the soil of possibility. Now take a breath and imagine a beam of golden white light descending from above you, warm, soft, steady, entering through the crown of your head and filling your entire body from head to toe. This light carries clarity. This light carries balance. This light carries unity. This light carries ancestral blessing. This light carries divine direction. Now imagine this golden white light expanding outward from your body into your room, your neighborhood, your city, your state, and eventually across the entire map of the United States, like a gentle sunrise, not forceful, not dominant, not controlling, just illuminating and just softening, just awakening. And as this light moves across the land, you whisper within yourself, may every community rise, may every household prosper, may every lineage heal, may every injustice dissolve, may every outdated identity fall away, may every person be seen with dignity. May America evolve into her highest expression. And may I play my part with love, wisdom, and clarity. Take another breath. And now we call upon Archangel Uriel one more time. Uriel, angel of light, angel of insight, angel of divine truth. Seal this meditation, seal this vision, seal this healing, seal this blueprint into the consciousness of every listener and into the energetic field of this nation. Illuminate the paths that lead to unity. Expose the beliefs that block evolution. Strengthen the hearts of those who are ready to co-create a better future. And hold this country in a vibration of justice, balance, and restoration. Now take a final inhale, and as you exhale, imagine the golden white light gently retreating back into your heart space. Not disappearing, just concentrating, resting within you as a quiet, powerful truth. You carry the blueprint now. You carry the vision and you carry the alignment. And because of that, America is already shifting. When you're ready, blink your eyes open or simply return your awareness back into your space. You are here, you are grounded, and you are aligned. Now that the meditation has settled into your spirit, I want to anchor everything we just did with the three pillars we stand on in this realm: scripture, tarot, and archangel guidance. Let's begin with scripture. The first scripture is Amos chapter 5, verse 24. Let judgment run down as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. This scripture is telling us that justice is not supposed to be rare or conditional or based on who lives where. Justice is meant to flow constantly like water that nourishes the land. That's the frequency we activated in this meditation. The second scripture is Isaiah chapter 60, verse 22. A little one shall become 1,000 and a small one a strong nation. This scripture carries the vibration of Black brilliance. It speaks to communities that were once counted out, once limited, once underestimated, becoming powerful, stable, and unstoppable when given the chance to grow. The last scripture comes from the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 3. For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works and search out your counsels. This is a message directly to the soul of this country. It says that leadership is accountable to the divine, systems are accountable to the divine, and every nation eventually answers for how it treated its people. Justice is not political, it is spiritual. Now let's bring in the tarot. The first card is justice. This card is the heart of everything we talked about tonight. Justice is balance. Justice is truth. Justice is alignment. It's the universe saying it's time to correct what has been uneven and restore what has been denied. The second card is the star. The star is healing. The star is hope. The star is guidance returning. After years of confusion, this card represents America's opportunity to choose healing instead of fear, unity instead of division, and evolution instead of stagnation. The final card is the world. The world is completion, integration, a new cycle beginning. This is the timeline we stepped into during the meditation. An America that is whole, inclusive, balanced, and spiritually mature. And now, the angelic support, we call again on Archangel Uriel, the angel of wisdom, the angel of truth, the angel who governs identity, clarity, and national consciousness. Uriel stands with a lantern of light, revealing what is hidden and illuminating what is possible. And Uriel brings this message: do not fear evolution. Do not fear balance. Do not fear the rising of those once oppressed. A nation must release the identity built on fear to embody the identity built on truth. Uriel now seals the vision you created tonight: a healed lineage, a flourishing Black future, and a unified nation rising together. This blessing is active, this alignment is anchored, and this work is done in the highest good for all who are ready to receive it. If this message spoke to your spirit tonight, if the meditation helped you see America and yourself in a new light, I want to invite you to stay connected. Make sure you like this video so this frequency reaches more souls who need it. Share it with somebody you love, especially someone who's been feeling discouraged about the direction of this country. Let them hear this vision and let them breathe in this possibility. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you can continue this journey with us as we explore magic, cosmic law, angels, and ancestral wisdom every single week. This work is bigger than one video. It's a movement, a recalibration, a spiritual awakening happening in real time, and you are part of it. So if you're ready for more meditations, more guided healings, more cosmic insight, and more spiritual realignment, stay tapped in, stay connected, and stay aligned in this new frequency. Before you go, I want you to know something. You are a vital part of this vision. You are a carrier of light. You are a builder of the future. And your presence on this planet right now, in this moment, is not an accident. It is divine timing. So as you move through your day, as you interact with this country, as you walk through neighborhoods, that may not always reflect your worth. Remember the truth we activated tonight. You deserve perfect health. You deserve abundant wealth. You deserve perfect self expression. And you deserve relationships that are love based and fair exchanges of energy. That is your inheritance. That is your birthright. And that is the frequency we're holding together. So keep rising, keep healing, keep creating, keep imagining, and keep walking in that cosmic alignment that your ancestors prayed you'd one day step into. I love you with that agape kind of love. Always.
Yo, wait, before you dip out, let me holler at you real quick. This is DJ Jamal, and listen, if Mystique just shifted something in your spirit with this message, don't walk away like you didn't feel that. You know you did. That wasn't just commentary. That was a whole recalibration. She walked you through history, truth, healing, and a future timeline most folks ain't even ready to see yet. And if you're still here, that means your spirit is ready. So do yourself a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment about what part hit you the hardest. Trust me, it helps this message rise up in the algorithm so more people can get this healing too. And listen, if you really want to keep this activation moving through your body, slide over to Hidden Hymns Archives. That's where the seal songs live. The frequencies, the chants, the sound codes that help lock in everything Mystique just opened up in you. You felt something today. Don't let it fade, feed it. Alright, I'm out. Peace, power, and alignment, family.
This dream from dust and now it's carved in stone. Abundance in our laughter, power in our homes. The future they feared is the one we now own. Black Wall Street rising. See the towers made of brilliance where our genius fills the air. See the markets where our money moves with confidence and care. See our children in their glory with their crowns and coils of hair. See a nation rediscovering the truth that we were always rare. Every step is healing timeline. Every breath is breaking old lies. The world they tried to hide is here at last, and nothing can erase what's built to last. Black Wall Street